What's going on, YouTube? And welcome back to Goal Line Hockey. It's your boy Kevin Forte, and today we are taking a look in the Lone Star State at the Dallas Stars. As after obviously things didn't work out with Rick Bowness this season, the Dallas Stars went in a new direction. A lot of people, though, have been criticizing the decision of the Dallas Stars as they went into the coaching carousel. There were lots of names out there, a lot of guys linked to the job in Dallas. Pete Deboer is the next head coach of the Dallas Stars. So we're going to go over that today. The history of Pete Deboer and his coaching tenure in the National Hockey League. And at the end of the day, your guys' opinions on it, that obviously plays a lot into it from the Dallas Stars fans' perspective, because that obviously has something to do with it. The kind of criticism for going for a coach that's been in the NHL for a long time and has had mitigating success, his contract, we're going to go over all of that today. So let's start off with the breaking news. Now, there were a couple of guys tied to this job. One of the big names we were hearing was Vancouver Canucks former head coach Travis Green. He seemed to be one of the finalists. But at the end of the day, Pete Deboer from Dunnville, Ontario gets the gig in Dallas. Now, his coaching career is a pretty lengthy one. He coached in the Ontario Hockey League for over a decade. He spent a lot of time in the OHL. He got his first NHL job as a head coach with the Florida Panthers. He spent 3 seasons as the head coach of the Panthers. In New Jersey, in his first season with the New Jersey Devils, they lost in the Stanley Cup Finals. And as you guys know, in 2012, that was the year that the Los Angeles Kings had won the Stanley Cup. They beat their crosstown Hudson River rivals, the New York Rangers, in the Eastern Conference Final. And ultimately, that was practically as close as it got for Deboer in his time in Jersey. To the exception of that season where they went to the finals in 2012, his first 7 seasons in the National Hockey League included 3 years in Florida where he missed the playoffs, 2 years in Jersey where he missed the playoffs, obviously the final run in there, and the 2015 season when he got let go by the New Jersey Devils, going 12-17 to start the season. So in a span of 7 years, he had already been going into his 3rd job in the NHL. Now, in the 2015-16 season, kind of similar to his time in New Jersey, his first season there, he goes to the Stanley Cup Finals, where they ultimately lost to the eventual Stanley Cup champion Pittsburgh Penguins. So again, you're seeing a pattern there where 2 consecutive stops, his 2nd and 3rd NHL team, he went to the Stanley Cup Finals that first season, and ultimately they never got back to that during his time with the team. Now, they did have more success, though. They lost in the first round the next season. They lost in the second round in 2018. And then in 2019, they lost in the third round. They lost in the Western Conference Finals. He ultimately got fired in the 2019-20 season. So now he's 4 teams in. He's gone to the Stanley Cup Final twice to no avail, and has had mitigating success. Now, this is when things get interesting because the Vegas Golden Knights job all of a sudden opens. Gerard Gallant, remember at the time, was their first head coach. It was the Island of Misfits. And this is when the Golden Knights culture changed. Obviously, Pete Deboer takes over Gerard Gallant in the 2019-2020 season, and they lost in round 4. That's definitely a typo. But I want to say that's the conference finals, right? Because I guess they're considering the qualifier round in the 2020 playoff bubble season. So that's, I guess, where they're getting to, and they lost in the 4th round. They're counting the qualifier round, which wasn't the playoffs when you look back. Technicality-wise, it wasn't a playoff round, but I guess they're counting it here on HockeyDB. So they did pretty well. They lost to the Montreal Canadiens that season, and then they got bounced in the conference finals again. So for 2 straight seasons in Vegas, he goes to the conference finals. Things don't work. They miss the playoffs this season, and just like that, Pete Deboer is out of his 4th job in the National Hockey League. His average tenure is 3.5 or 3.75 years. He just signed a 4-year, $16 million contract with the Dallas Stars organization. And obviously, you do the math, it's $4 million per year on the contract of Pete Deboer. That's the same exact contract that the new Philadelphia Flyers head coach, John Tortorella, just got with the Flyers. So let's go over the fans' thoughts before we jump into my thoughts. The fans are pissed in Dallas. I'm going to put it pretty blunt for you guys. Now, there were a couple Dallas Stars fans that were optimistic, right? There's always those people that, all right, this is a new guy. Hey, he has had some success, right? Especially in his first season with certain clubs like the Devils, like the San Jose Sharks. And to be honest, his 3 seasons in Vegas, I mean, had they made the playoffs this year, God knows they might have gone back to the conference finals again this season. So, it's one of those things where he's been in really good situations. San Jose was supposed to win the cup during those times. The New Jersey Devils, Lou Lamoriello, I mean, they were trying to win the cup there, right? They had Ilya Kovalchuk, Zach Parise. I'm trying to remember who else was there. I think Jágr was there for a little bit of time. That was the twilight of Martin Brodeur's career in the NHL, and Pete Deboer couldn't get them a cup during that. And what's the more concerning thing, and we don't know yet with Vegas how this will turn out, but all those teams, the Florida Panthers, the New Jersey Devils, and the San Jose Sharks, all those teams after he left rebuilt their teams after Pete Deboer left. Now, I don't know what's going to happen with Vegas. I don't think Vegas is going that route. I think they'll be the exception to the rule. But when I look at the Dallas Stars, I do look at this as their last resort before paying the toll, which ultimately is going to be a rebuild at some point. Because how much more do these guys have for the Dallas Stars, right? How much more does Tyler Seguin have? Jamie Benn. Joe Pavelski signed a 1-year extension, but how much longer does he have? Really, the future of this team is guys like Miro Heiskanen and Jake Ottinger in between the pipes. So when you look at the Dallas Stars, this is their last chance before toll. I really believe that they are trying to win a Stanley Cup. And they are probably looking at those most recent teams that he did pretty well in his first season. Even with Vegas, they got to the conference finals. And the 2 teams before that, he went to the Stanley Cup finals. So Dallas is looking at this as a short-term thing. Even if they have to fire him 3 years into this deal, I think it's kind of built in where they know that is a possibility, and maybe they pay him out that final year of the deal, they start their rebuild, and things move forward from there. But the Dallas Stars, in my opinion, this is not a great hire. It really is not. I just don't think a lot of people see a lot of success with Pete Deboer. And like I said, you look at those teams that were here. The San Jose Sharks were a very good team with Carlson, Burns, Vlasic, Couture. Pavelski was there for a little bit of time. So, and like I said with the Devils earlier, the twilight of Brodeur's career, they were trying to win one last cup. Vegas, pretty self-explanatory. We know how high the expectations have been there. So the fact he hasn't been able to get them to that promised land does make you wonder just how good of a coach is he. And we're going to wait and find out, because we could talk all this smack we want. A lot of Dallas Stars fans are not pleased with this. So let me know what you guys think in the comment section down below. Do you think this is a fit? Do you think it's culturally the right fit for the Stars? And, I mean, I even heard one Dallas Stars fan say, let me know when Deboer gets fired. I'm not even watching. I think that's a little bit far. Let's see what he can do first. Let's see how things go. Let's wait till the holidays. Let's wait till November, December, and let's see where the Dallas Stars are at. Because if they're making the playoffs this year, anything can happen. And you saw what Jake Ottinger did in the first round against the Edmonton Oilers. I mean, the sky is the limit. Things could really turn in the right direction for the Dallas Stars with such a good goaltender. Maybe making a couple of little depth moves here and there. Hopefully seeing a little bit more recovery from Tyler Sagan and his hip surgery, because I think that hurt them a little bit. Seeing a little bit more from Jason Robertson. Hopefully they re-sign John Klingberg. There is optimism in Dallas. I just think this isn't the path that I think Dallas Stars fans wanted to see them go. And especially when you see, bigger names out there, like Jeff Blashill, and obviously guys like Barry Trotz. I think when you look at those teams, the Dallas Stars were not at the top of most of those top candidates' agenda, right? I mean, let's be honest. They were looking at Travis Green, Jim Montgomery, obviously Pete Deboer. So of those names, I have to say Pete Deboer is probably one of the bigger names in terms of those guys. And now we're starting to see the dominoes fall, right? We saw Bruce Cassidy, who was let go from Boston, go right to the Vegas Golden Knights. That was a big decision there. The Flyers bringing in John Tortorella, and now the Dallas Stars are the next domino to fall, as they have hired Pete Deboer as the next head coach. Guys, thank you so much for watching, and let's go Stars.